Welcome back to the Torque Test channel. So after our early leak of the not out yet Ryobi High Torque, we must have shown up on the radar of the Ryobi team at TTI because we quickly got an introduction email from them with a few questions, requests, and offers. It seems like they must be hanging out with the same folks as the average YouTube Power Tool comment section because they had the gall to suggest we used the wrong battery. But I mean, hey, that's nothing new, right? We're so used to that sort of accusation that we bought our own t-shirt from Philly Fixed. But this request has been a bit of a new flavor. As you may know, we're not exactly in love with Ryobi's base batteries, let's call them Gen 1 batteries. They don't deliver the beans, and Ryobi has been packaging nearly everything they sell in kits with them. Even their newer HP brushless tools, despite having HP batteries, let's call those Gen 2, available for some time. Luckily for us, and maybe everyone out there also buying a Ryobi High Torque, Ryobi said if we tested their new guy with their new PBP004 high performance battery, let's call that Gen 3, they would finally package that battery with the tool when sold as a kit. Okay, full transparency, they were going to package it that way anyways, but we do have a policy of testing tools with the battery that comes in the kit, so we were unwillingly convinced by this proposal. So here we are again, buying even more Ryobi batteries to fill the void in our Ryobi hearts. They, of course, offered to send us any of these, which we thank them for. But what's a few more batteries at the end of the day piling onto our collection? How much could a Ryobi battery cost, after all? $100? Okay, that's some cheddar. But you could get two for $150. That's not terrible. That's about the same price as our HP 4 amp hour battery, the Gen 2. Don't ask us what the difference is between HP and high performance because both of these have pickups in the back to talk to the tool, but according to Ryobi, these new ones are more peppy. As a matter of fact, according to them, this new PBP004 should be able to put out more amps than our 3 amp hour 21700 cell P195 HP pack. They say 80 versus 60 amps, so maybe more beans too. To cover all of our bases in this more amps is more better line of thinking, we also purchased a 9 amp hour battery. I mean, how much could that cost? $160. That's more than 4 of their normal batteries. That's more than a 40 volt Ryobi blower with charger and 40 volt battery. What's the battery chemistry on this thing? Lithium caviar? I'm not saying that's nowhere near other brands' 9 amp hour batteries, but this is Ryobi. Their tools are pretty affordable, right? I think most cases this battery is going to cost more than the tool it's used on. If that is the case, you might be inclined to find a 9 amp hour battery that doesn't cost more than your tool, so we bought one of those too. I think that goes without saying that this was not recommended by Ryobi in their email. This is the Turpow 9 amp hour Ryobi-esque battery, which was under $50, and to be honest, looks quite good in person. One of the few generics we've bought that looks apart. Let's see those beans though. We're going to be running through the usual battery of tests on this high torque with the 3 amp hour P195 that we've always liked best versus the PBP004 that Ryobi's asking us to test. Then at the end, we're going to see how this Gen 3 4 amp hour battery compares to the Gen 2 and Gen 1 also 4 amp hour batteries with the same cell size. Here's our first test called Working Torque 5 seconds and forward. Up first is our favorite battery, which they've stopped making, the P195 21700 cell pack. And here's the one they'll be selling with this high torque, their high performance. $434. Okay, a tiny bit down, but mostly the same too on the curve so far. Hopping right into our max torque test now, 10 seconds in reverse. Here's the comparison of both on screen. $602 down from $631. No real gains to be seen yet from those technically more available amps and better communication. Maybe our dyno is reading low? I mean, Ryobi just came off of this thing, but let's check that out. Here's the 3 amp hour pack again, run right after the high performance run you just watched. Nope, not exactly. That's pretty mirror-like. All right, well, let's hop into the best case scenario test. Maybe it prefers fresh off the charger performance. Here's again both on screen. .651 down from 675. That PBP004 is putting up quite a fight down low in dynamic torque. Usually 21700 cell batteries see gains over 18650s here, but it seems like to us that up top, when things are really good and tight and every inch is a mile of effort for these tools, the 3 amp hour pack is still able to pile on just a little bit more. So no need to revisit the rank chart again. This tool is basically making the same power, or maybe even a little bit less. But hey, that's not such a bad thing. They will be actually packaging the tool with a battery closest to our favorite that we've tested. Quite a step up from their usual protocol if you ask us. But what about even higher capacity, even more cells, even more amps, even more beans? Is this smaller stature high torque already strapped? Maybe it's not making more power today because it's already accepting as many amps as it can take. Our first option when attempting this was a bit of a fail right out of the box. It seems the Turpow was kaput before it ever got to us. Doesn't work on a tool, doesn't charge. Was really hoping to show that today, but you get what you pay for, I suppose. If that saying is true, though, we should be getting a whole lot with our Ryobi 9 amp hour pack then, because it costs a whole lot. Here's this best case scenario run to see if it can amp things up. The battery level button on this one was a bit spongy for some reason. $735. Wait, what? 735 with absolutely massive gains on the curve too. I mean, I know people have been asking us to test Ryobi tools with a 9 amp hour pack because they feel a difference, but that's sort of what everyone says in the comments. Buy the biggest battery ever. I believe you though, this one is one of those Helen Keller would notice a difference sort of gains on a tool. Look at the gaps on the curve. 580 over 487. 626 over 522, 657 over 557. That's massive dynamic and peak gains that would bust rust free a lot better and tighten and drive things tighter like a ball joint press. Okay, I'm starting to consider this battery no longer overpriced. With these sort of beans, let's head over to our average power rank chart and do some updates. No 9 amp hour comes in a kit, so our normal ranking is unchanged, but our average power across a run chart is all about the most we've ever made with each tool thus far. The Ryobi is currently ranked down here. It is a smaller high torque after all, and has a score of 526. That becomes updated to 598, putting it up into 9th or 5th among cordless, over a Makita high torque, and over a Metabo HBT 36 volt with its big battery as well. Spicy stuff there for sure. So yeah, we were distracted a bit from our mission today. Ryobi said we were doing it wrong, so we redid it, and well, yeah, not the difference we were being told. It makes sense. The rigid we just tested with this sort of process on the same premise, the 3 amp hour we've had luck with versus the newest generation 4 amp hour, and since both Ryobi and rigid are TTI, yeah, we're sort of seeing a deja vu. Shouldn't be all that surprising. Makes us want to find an all but extinct 9 amp hour octane battery as well. Either way, we're happy. Ryobi is packaging this new Gen 3 with the high torque, a battery that can feed the tool adequately, we think. But these high performance and max output marketing claims, are they just bogus? Certainly if those phrases meant 21700 cells, like ultimate output and high output, we'd be pretty happy. But it's worth keeping in mind we fancy impact tools on this channel quite a bit. And while brands like to pump up the importance of tool and battery communication, You're sort of seeing that difference now on the chart with the Gen 1 and 2 versus 3. Impact wrenches might be playing a different game than your traditional direct-driven or gear-reduced tools like drill drivers, saws, and the like. An impact has two separate systems, the motor and the impact mechanism. The battery talks to the motor, but on most impact tools, the motor has no idea what the heck the impact dogs are doing, and it's only fighting against that spring. The spring resetting the hammer each time and landing on the anvil dogs. Whether the anvil is rotating or stationary, the motor may not know too much about just how much spring resistance it's fighting. So power delivery on this new Gen 3 high performance may be a standout on tools like that. It's yet to be seen. Something we look forward to diving into in the future with our usual data first approach, maybe sometime soon. Appreciate you coming along with us on the journey of Ryobi discovery. Pick up your 9 amp hour battery via the link below or wherever you find deals. And thanks for watching.